This piece of history is proudly supported by the Museum of Vancouver. Vancouver's story begins here. Welcome back. We're here in the collections storage of the Museum of Vancouver. It's the random episode, and we are bringing you the most random thing here. I've seen this thing like 15 years ago. I saw this thing every time I come down into this amazing space. I think about this thing and I am drawn to it. Ryan, what are we looking at here?
Well, if you want random, it doesn't get much more random than our life-size former Mayor Mike Harcourt statue.
Yes. Why is this thing here?
Yeah, so we had to do a bit of research to actually figure out its story because, like you, it's something that we've seen in the collection but didn't really know a lot of the backstory for. So in 1983, we hosted an exhibition about dolls in Vancouver, and the museum sought permission from City Hall to commission a life-size replica of Mike Harcourt to include in that exhibition.
We have the now declassified document from the mayor's office saying, yes, you're allowed to make this thing, and yes, you can spend $800, which is how many dollars
About
today?
$2,300.
Okay.
Inflation.
Okay, and this was originally in the doll exhibition, and then it came back for the centennial.
In 1986. So this doll's actually appeared a few times at the museum. We had him back for our 1986 centennial exhibition. So when the museum turned 100, we did a decade by decade history of Vancouver, and Mayor Mike Harcourt was included in the 1980s. And then when former Premier Mike Harcourt was injured in 2002 in a fall, we brought this back on display and people could sign a get well soon card for him.
What does he think of this thing?
Well, as far as we can tell from our records, he was pretty entertained by it. So while we sought permission from City Hall to have it made, he, as far as we know, hadn't seen it before the exhibition opened. So he was invited as a guest of honor to the exhibition and got to meet himself there.
That's pretty amazing. We have a bunch of stuff here in the collection. We also have something from your personal collection.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
So talking about random, no one in my family or myself knows exactly why I did this, but as a young child, I dressed as Premier Mike Harcourt for Halloween one year.
The funny thing is that it looks like you might be wearing a sweatshirt that is similar to his. You don't have the signature sweatpants that he's wearing, which wrap all the way around the back. The zipper, for some reason, goes from the front to the back. Ryan thinks it's because it was supposed to be because it was easier to pull it up. I think this might be a hidden piece of history. The sweatshirt has Vancouver's flag on it. I wish that I could get one of those patches and I would make a sweatshirt just like that one. Oh, and also, this was not a popular thing in the news.
Well, so it's interesting you bring that up because when we brought it back for the 1986 Centennial exhibition, we were reviewed in the Vancouver Sun, and I'm just going to read an excerpt from the review specifically about this statue. So it said, quote, "Worse still is the display for the 1980s. The main item is a life-size model of Mayor Mike Harcourt jogging. He's surrounded by a Centennial and Expo souvenirs, including a stupid plastic back scratcher, yawn. Considering this is supposed to be the major museum exhibition for the centennial year, it's surprisingly bland and unimaginative. Once it's over, remembering Vancouver might best be forgotten."
Well, you know what? It's $800 in those dollars, $2,300 in today's. I'll give you $2,500 for the statue right now, and I need to have this, and I'll need to get it to my car today. This is one of the most awesome pieces of history here in Vancouver at the Museum of Vancouver. Vancouver's story begins here. That's the show for this week. Big thanks to Aaron Chapman, show director Derek Wong, roving reporter Nina Savage, editor Arav, and everybody at employee-owned CHEK Media. Follow me on social media for more stories and check out my digest, the Now You Know BC Almanac at bcbob.ca. You can buy copies for $25 and subscribe to my newsletter there where I do regular giveaways and I share stories all about BC. And now you know BC.